Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Chef JT. Happy to see you back here again. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Hopefully you had a good start to your week. What's new? What's happening? Hey Will Poker. Welcome in there, JK. Hello. Doing instant coffee tonight. I'm still doing regular coffee for my coffee. But it's instant coffee night. Let's see, are you working? Yep. Good. One moment. Realizing that I had... Over here, camera. Yeah, over here. Realizing that I had stuff potentially playing in the back. So, had to turn that off. Don't eat dumpsters. Currently have a clean account as far as dumpsters. I'm just calling it that because it's sort of fun to say that. Like, I normally see DMCA. Like, yeah, I don't believe you. We're gonna turn you off, though. Fixing the focus issue. At least for the rest of this stream. Okay. So what's everyone's Halloween costume this year? I'm not telling you what mine is, because we had a vote in Discord and most of you said I shouldn't. Next on Cosmos. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you've had a great start to your week. Let's have some fun making some coffee food. Cheers. Warm. That's desirable at this point of today. Not hot today to start the stream. We're getting into winter here, so it's not as hot out here right now. Actually, it looks a little rainy out. It's not raining, but looks like it could. Alright, what are we up to here tonight? What are we starting with? I think we are going to be starting with making cake. I've had the butter out for a minute, so it's nice and soft tonight. Already. Definitely room temp. So we got a stick of butter in there that's been brought to room temp. We're going to add a cup of white sugar. We'll cream the sugar. Sitting here debating if I wanted to do white or brown sugar. I went with white. I'm actually getting sort of low on normal sugar amounts. Like, I got all sorts of sugar in the raw right now because I just re-upped my bulk storage. But I've got a small bag of white sugar besides what's in that container right there. And I've gone through most of my brown sugar. I've got a cup or two of it. Hey, Nan Reader. Okay, let's add some other goodies here. Starting with, is there anything left in this? Oh, we're dropping the last of that in. Last of the vanilla going in there. Nice pinch of salt in there. Do a couple of eggs. Oh no, there's a shell in there. That's why you're supposed to use a separate bowl. Got it. Alright, now we got that lump free and those eggs nicely incorporated with everything. We've scraped the bowl all into it. I just used you. Where are you? Cup and a half of AP flour. And to that cup and a half of AP flour, we're going to add a bit of baking soda, a bit of baking powder. We want this thing puffing up tonight. You don't want no saggy bread. We need some coffee in there. Not light on the coffee there. Yeah. And a little half and half. By a little half, I mean most of what I got left. And in the ballpark of a third of a cup there. Okay, don't want to keep mixing that up. Let's go ahead and preheat our oven. Let's do 75. 375. Grab ourselves a pie tin. And let's grab our last ingredient going into the I forgot I had those back there. We're going to throw in a couple handfuls of peanuts. Actually, that looks like a good handful right there. We'll do a handful and a half, which I don't have small hands. We'll grease up our pan. Using cold, not warm butter. Start working all that dough towards the front here. Up and over. Looks like a giant container of peanut butter. Especially with the chunks of peanut in there. Alright, let's set this over on the stove to hang out while the oven preheats. Let's clean up our board here. Clean up our couple of utensils we used so far. So my project of the last 48 hours or so has been banging my head against the wall trying to get another update to my website. But this update is going to it's going to add my video archive. We're going to be getting rid of the photo archive and replacing it with the video archive. And the video archive is going to have all of my videos. Right now it's only got a little over 1,000, but hopefully we'll get that last. I think there's about 75 missing from that. Because the number that's on my title is since 2020, it's not since the start, wherever that is. Help, I'm trapped in a box. Keep opening. Like, it has never happened to me. But one of those things, I don't know if we're going to consider this rational or irrational. Let's debate this, chat. Items that I know have foil underneath the lid, I grab my lids, and sometimes when I'm having trouble getting off of them, I'll squeeze my fingers up underneath them, right where that foil is, and twist. Has anyone cut their fingers doing that? I have never had it happen to me, but I still think about it just about every time I open one of these types of packages. And then I leave the foil on. Let's get rid of the foil. On the foil that this had foil on it. I just tore it off and threw it in the trash. But the foil, trying to get the lid off, if I have the lid on, many times I'll lift it and I'll lift the edge up, but I don't have enough grip to get it off. And so my typical way of dealing with that is you twist it, and so it eventually... But that means your fingers are going along that top edge where that foil edge is. Are we considering this a rational or irrational fear? The silence is deafening. I say that like chat's loud. Let me go back to that spatula. So we're mixing half stick of defrosted butter with some sour cream, which is now going to slowly turn into sour cream frosting by adding a bunch of powdered sugar. Maybe it wasn't the spatula I was supposed to be using. I'll need the spatula a little later anyways, but... Hi, Carl. This is going to need a solid 3-4 cups worth of powdered sugar, maybe even a little more, depending on humidity and all those lovely things. Okay, we're getting close there. And I've made too much frosting even when I pared down the recipe. I'm gonna live with that. Yeah. Get that little refrigeration time. How is that stove not up to temp? What's your malfunction, oven? Please don't have a malfunction. I need you. Hi. That was nice timing. We'll go ahead and throw the coffee cake in the oven. Let me guess, 40 minutes? Let me see. Nah, even more. I'll take a look at this in 45 minutes. There you go, Crawdalt. It's red. If it wasn't for the fact that I want hot food all the time, like physically hot, not necessarily spicy. I don't mind spice, but I'd probably be a pretty big fan of spreads. Sugar with the sugar. Next stuff. Are we on dinner already? All types of spreads. That was a multi-layered dad joke. But among those would have to be the pub cheeses of the world. pimento cheese spread is a decent thing. It's perhaps one of the most processed foods you could ever buy, but it's not a horrible thing. Let's start by defrosting some shrimpers. Am I going to do the rest of these? Yeah, let's do the rest of these. They're the main protein. These are the shrimps that I didn't defrost for gumbo on Monday. I just love, charcuterie across the board. I mean, I know I was talking cheese earlier and spreads, but I think of spreads and I also think things like pork roulets. Oh, you get a good batch of those by someone that knows how to make their pork. It's one of those simple, delicious things. It's just cooked pork and fat until it's practically caramelized. But I forget the name of it. The main market that they have in downtown Napa. There's a food market in downtown Napa. It's a nice little place, but it's always overcrowded. It's always a pain to get in and out of, but otherwise it's great. And there is a major charcuterie company with the building attached but separate at the same time. And they don't do it anymore as much. They only really do it during the holidays, so they say, but their roulets are always on my menu every time I go to that place. Just they have all sorts of other cool stuff there too, pre-done duck confit and all sorts of stuff like that. True charcuterie deli area to pick from that just every time is can't I just buy everything? Jealous of people that live in range of it to just go and buy a sandwich on slow days or whatever. They don't really do sandwiches, but you get what I mean. Cheesy corn fritter pancakes, pigs in a banquet, warm ham pieces, stuffed grape leaves, and pickled green beans. Well, that sounds like a spread. That's an entirely different spread. I didn't even think of that type of spread. I like that spread too. That was a 4-way dad joke. Although I only really meant the 3 ways. Okay, while those shrimpies are defrosting, we'll start getting other things prepped for that. We'll get our pasta prepped. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Crinkle. As the bag goes. Let's just empty it. Two cups. And a bit more for our pound of pasta. Doing the let's make sure everything gets a little wet just to start it off with that. We're gonna wait on that though, because we got at least 30 minutes just until our cake comes out of the oven. Why is that not switching? Are you switching? No, you're not. Why aren't you switching? Did you turn off GoPro? There. Interesting. Okay, there we go. Okay, it is switching. Good. And I guess we can mix the sauce for our shrimps in this. Oh, hey, whole nother type of spread. That looks like a decent amount of coffee to our gochujang there. So we're just absolutely amping up the roasty, nutty coffee flavors to our gochujang. And we get to use up a bit of this this sauce that is a little bit loose for what I think it should be. Gochujang. Breaking into some garlic here next. That looks like a good amount of garlic. This garlic's got some heat to it. I can smell it. Feel it now too. It's already burning my fingers a bit. Especially when you're someone like me who constantly washes their hands and doesn't moisturize them properly so they crack and peel. And I still have a hunger for life, so I keep chewing on them myself. Sunflower oil for the high heat. Spritz of olive oil, see if we can't get a little olive oil flavor in there. Some butter. Shrimp's mostly the frosted. Good song for watching the butter melt, huh? I don't want it much hotter than that because I don't want it to be like boiling temp. I just want it to melt. Same thing for the garlic. I'm not really looking to... I'm looking to take the edge off of the fresh garlic. But I'm not really looking to extremely cook it. Certainly not looking to put color on it. Just in time for me to turn around there, camera, huh? Still working on getting that all figured out. Like, I haven't changed any settings with it, with the detection since I put it in, like as far as the software. But as far as the camera location and fiddling with getting the GoPro going with the stream again, and So we're looking good there, I think. We'll cut the heat on the fat and garlic. Is that all we got? Is that all it wrote? Guess so. Toss in a bunch of freeze-dried basil with this as well. A little garlic powder. Why not? Little onion too. Any other dried herbs we should throw in there? Wow, I don't have much in the dry herbs right now. The only thing I'm seeing in there is a jar of tarragon that I think is older than my streaming. I got some ground coriander in there too, but we will live with this. This is going to be our basic covering for our pasta. Just giving it some fat and lots of garlic. And then we're going to toss it with the shrimps that we have tossed with our gochujang coffee sauce. I think we can get started with our... Well, I almost want to wait until our cake is out of the oven. Hi, Shad. Welcome. What you're looking at on the cutting board is a whole bunch of sour cream frosting and a gochujang coffee sauce for tossing our shrimp with. On the stove, you see butter, oil, garlic, and a little extra seasoning that's going to be coating our penne pasta. And then we've got a coffee cake. In the oven. This is the devil bottle. You ever hear of the devil core? If you read about nuclear stuff, this bottle of green dye is the devil dye bottle. It has made more spills in my kitchen. This one particular bottle, too. Thankfully, it hasn't dyed anything in my kitchen yet. Questionably too late on that, too. Let's add some more. Let's get rid of this bottle. Let's use it up. Yep, all over my fingers. Oh well. Mostly cleaned up the cap. Lighter than I expected it to be. taking a glance at our cake. Oh, what you looking at, camera? Oh, over here. Let's look at this cake. I don't want to overdo it. I can maybe use another minute. We'll give it another 5. Trying to find a picture of a pumpkin with some vine attached to it, because I can't remember what pumpkin leaves look like. I'm basically doing pumpkins because of the time of year. Like, there's no pumpkin in this cake. It just changed over from 5 minutes there. I'm going to take a couple minute AFK while that finishes, and we'll be back for pulling the cake out of the oven and finishing up dinner. I don't know if I'm going to ice it on stream or not. I'd love to do it on stream, but it's a matter of time and allowing it to cool down and how hot the kitchen's here, because I'm already getting to sweat point with the stuff that's in the oven. Okay. Okay.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better, too, because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
Yes, sir. If you want real entertainment, the best place to find it is in front of a General Electric Black Daylight Big-as-Life television set. Sports, comedy, drama, news, music. Yes, they're all yours merely at the turn of a dial. This model has a big 16-inch black rectangular tube that lets you see everything that the camera sees, true to life and as big as life. Sparkling contrast and sharp focus give you pictures of such clarity that you feel you're right there on the scene. The cabinet, designed and constructed by America's leading cabinet makers, fits gracefully into any type of room. Genuine mahogany veneers, hand-rubbed for lasting beauty and durability, are just one example of the painstaking attention to every detail, which makes this cabinet one that you'll be proud to have in your home. The precision engineering and careful assembly techniques used in making this General Electric Black Daylight television set are your assurance of television at its finest. See it in operation at your General Electric dealers tomorrow. And when you see it, well, you'll know that you're seeing the best.
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy-style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it. All right, now, as you look at that, don't want you to leave me because I want to show you something, believe it or not, that a lot of people like even better. Suppose we were to take some fresh roasted peanuts here, and like Mary Ellen has been doing all evening, and putting them in a nut chopper here. Give a couple more little chugs, will you, please? Mm-hmm. I think that'll do it just fine. Now you find in there some just tiny little golden nuggets of roasted peanuts. And they are colossal. Now, I want to try something here. Suppose we were to take these, now let me try an experiment, do you mind, honey? And we'd sprinkle them over the creamy-style Skippy. Say, how is that, huh?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. All I did that for was to tell you that you can get that and enjoy it anytime you want. You won't have to go through any chopping process either, because the Skippy people do that for you in chunk style. That's done for you up in the factory. Now, chunk style, you see, has sprinkled all through it very generously through the entire jar those golden little nuggets that you saw there, just about like that. So that's already done for you.
Welcome back. Okay, let's get our pasta started. Start that cooking. Let's pull out our cake. Nice and brown. Nice push back to it. It was feeling a little softer earlier. I'm going to set that over here. Actually, we can do a close-up for everyone on the cutting board here first. Really close there. Like, maybe should have cooked this at a slightly lower temp. Because just right there, just on the edge of getting a little too toasty. Alright. So that's now going to cool. I'm going to throw some salt on our pasta. I forgot to do that. Definitely want some salt with our pasta. Stay on top, you ill-fitting lid. And strain off the liquid on our shrimps from defrosting them. And then lift them out individually by hand so we leave behind any loose legs or shell parts or anything like that. And there is a few in the bowl here with them. There's the last of the bag, so all the stuff in the bottom of the bag was with them. Alright, so we'll get rid of the stuff in the bottom of the bowl there. Attempting to minimize bowl use tonight. We're going to use this now to toss our pasta. We're also going to be using the pan that we're cooking the pasta in to cook the shrimps tonight. I know it's improper to call them shrimps, but it's fun. Ooh, we're getting there quick with our boil tonight. Guess no one's watching. Just a nice cake. Alright, touching the lid there with our bubbles. Cut the heat off. Let that sit for 10 minutes. Ooh, I'm gonna need another bowl anyways. I'm not gonna reuse that one. I guess we gotta use another bowl. I need something to toss my shrimps in. So searching stuff, I wanted to see if I was being creative at all with the whole coffee and gochujang. Sorry, we're doing an ad, but anyways, I searched gochujang and coffee together to see if there were other recipes or stuff that someone else had done before with this. And I found out that gochujang in coffee is apparently a thing. Like, people are making instant coffee and adding gochujang into it for spice and funk background to their coffee. Yeah, let's give this a little warm up first. Oil will hold heat, but it's been off the heat for a minute there. I don't really want to cook the basil that's in there too much. I just want to warm it up a little bit. We'll call it there. You can see the oil's moving a bit easier with that now. And it's not like we're adding cold pasta into it. Still got a couple minutes on the pasta. Oh, we'll clean up our shrimps. I gotta clean up our, I forgot I gotta devein them. There's a better way than squeezing the meat out the front than this. What's going on here, knife? You're relatively sharp. You're struggling on these shells, though. This is going to take me longer than I expected. Just because they're not cutting through nicely. These ones are a little bit dirtier than the first ones, even though they're the same batch, same bag as. Always seems to work that way when you're supposedly in a rush. Come on. Last two. quick hand wash. Toss our pasta with the garlic butter and all the other goodness. Flaming the pan on. Give these a good toss in the salt, MSG, pepper, oil over the shrimps, salt over the shrimps, into the sauce. Oops. Switch over to the cutting board there. There we have dinner. Do a shake more of that over the top. It does look, the pasta does look a little naked. I'm a little like, I wish I had some other herbs to throw in there to give it a little more green, but if you saw the butter and the oil and the garlic earlier that we tossed this pasta in, there is tons of flavor there. It's just not very visible. Like, you look at the inside of this bowl and it looks more like a bowl of mac and cheese just without the yellow. We got our shrimps coated in the coffee and gochujang sauce. We've got our coffee cake, coffee cake, which has settled quite a bit here, but is still, I think this is a nice bake. I'm not worried about that. And I am going to decorate that, but I am going to wait for that. That needs to cool quite a bit more before I'm going to put icing on top of that. Who knows, maybe on Friday? We'll see how ambitious I am, how hungry I am. We'll see. Let's get some photos in here. Alright. So this is going to be where I'm going to be leaving things for this evening. Quicker stream. A little bit of a quieter stream too. Greatly appreciate y'all joining in with me tonight. We did, I think I did pretty good with tonight's dinners. This cake is going to be pretty good. And these shrimp are already looking delicious. Going to be back here on Friday. What am I doing on Friday? I knew what I was doing on Friday earlier. Oh. Pastalaya. Or Pastalea. That's not how you spell Leia. Anyways. It's jambalaya, but made with pasta. Jambalaya is similar to the gumbo we did on Monday. But it's also going to be, instead of served with the starch, typically jambalaya is made with rice, and you cook the rice in with the product. And in this case, we're going to be cooking the pasta in with the rest of the jambalaya. So that is going to be Friday. Sunday, we're starting in on spooky foods. I've got it all in on Discord. Full menu of the next 3 streams after that. You have to check out the Discord to see those. But, yeah. Thank you all for joining in tonight. Greatly appreciate your company. I hope you have an amazing finish to your week. Good night.